Sharp people got no reason. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Rocky Outcrop. This is Ethereum technical analysis, of course, and we've just done the Bitcoin episode. Well, I just after filming the Bitcoin episode, so check that out. It's a good episode. It talks a really, good lesson in there about divergence and everything else, and the RSI, great stuff, really top quality stuff, lots of value to be taken away. Looking at this here chart, let's bring it up full screen. Bring it up full screen. Go on, full screen, come on, full screen. Come on, full screen, and zoom on in and say, was this high? Yes, it was higher. Closed out higher over there. Looking down here, oh, look at that. It's a bit bearishly divergent, isn't it? What do we have here? High, then a low. Is this got any bullish divergence on this if we're to consider it a downward trend? Not yet. It's the 4-hour time frame, of course. Let's go down the 1-hour time frame. Do we see anything? No, this wasn't actually bullishly divergent on the RSI. On the Stochastics, it was. On the DMI, it was, and the MACD it was. So there's a bit bullish divergence there on this one, but we need to see this coming back up above our previous highs over there, 230 or 430. I'm still stuck in the past with that at 430 or so, coming up towards these previous, this horizontal at 433. We need to break above that for me to start feeling like we're kind of, cracking on with things. As you can see, time wise, if you were concerned about the parallel channel, which is obviously not positioned perfectly, and it's not within my interests or even in your own interest for me to position it perfectly. Instead, what's in your best interest is for me to remind you that you can be, and I have a lot of faith and belief in you, that you can be your own perfect advisor, that you don't need somebody like me to come along and put the perfect lines on for you to give you precise penny to the dollar targets necessarily. So that's why I prefer to remind people. But anyway, we can see that generally speaking that now for us to move above this, that we'd still, that this zone's moving on up ahead of where we've had previous resistance at. So maybe could that be a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it could be either, depending on how things all go for that one. He knows. Looking at the DMI here, we've got the ADX coming right down to 29. Below this I put horizontal lines on here, 40 because it's quite a significant zone, 30, 20, 10, all that sort of stuff. Now, if I go over to the textbook, by the way, about the DMI, again, because this is something that we do here on the channel, you can see that in the background there, they haven't got these zones marked out. I say this in advance. Where's the DMI section on this one? Here. You can see it doesn't have the zones marked out on this, but because they used to use this grid paper, I've spoken about this before, you can see that the zones are kind of marked out just purely on the grid paper, and you might have used this when you're doing maths in high school or whatever. But of course, over here on our super duper clean charts, we don't have that grid paper, instead it's just all charted out for us automatically. So I put these lines in here, and I'm interested to see this going down below these areas. If this goes down towards 20 and these two cross over, don't cross over, sorry. If this ticks away, pushes away from it and increases towards the top side, that's the 1 hour time frame. Looking at this on a bigger time frame, the 24-hour time frame. Right, if these cross over, so at some point the DM positive and negative, and the ADX line comes on down below 40, then I'd be fairly concerned about the strength of the trend, especially then if it drops down below 30. But really, we're looking down towards 20 for when it would be kind of negative. It's picked up in terms of the strength of the trend over the last wee while in the 4-hour time frame. Looking at this one here, where it changed from red to blue, that's going above 20. I've got this wrong somehow. Oh, wait a minute, just let me check the code on this thing. Let me check the code on this thing. The code, sorry about all this, by the way. I appreciate that it's not what you tuned in to see. Where did I put it in? About 20? Yeah, there we go. 20. Oh, it does say 20. Okay, cool. So anyway, I guess it's just a matter of timing. That's what you used to say in the bank, by the way. If anything goes wrong with your system, you say, it's a timing. It's a timing error. It convinces everybody right the way up the queue, all the way to the VP of the organization, that you know what you're talking about, even though actually all the way back down again, everybody knows that that's a bullshit excuse. But it's a timing issue. There you go. So that's why that's not working. It's a timing issue. Keys to success at jobs at the bank. So yeah, anyway, moving up past this, if we go past the neutral line on the stochastics, move up past the neutral line on the RSI, we maintain it above the moving average here. It's turned blue because it's positive, and having come up here without the divergence. There's actually a tiny bit of divergence there on the MACD as well on this small time frame, and it's on all of them. Yeah, there's lots of things about this which could be considered to be fairly toppy, but overall, we're doing okay staying above this orangey sort of rusty coloured line here, and above these key areas of support. If the prices go down below that, though, then we're going down below the 236 Fibonacci, down below 395. Things get a bit tasty at that point. I think everybody's kind of benefited from the fact that we were pretty much sure at some points that we'd come down and touch that. In fact, let's just take a look at it. 24-hour time frame, looking down the way. This is what we spoke about in the past. In the previous episode, was it yesterday's episode? Came all the way down to 391. Wow, that's right on that 236. And what other 236 is it right on? This one. Did it go like almost to the penny on this 236 Fibonacci? Yeah, almost to the penny. Of course, we don't talk about things as being to the penny because that's ridiculous. But it happened. So wow, great trading, fantastic trading. You know what that's better trading than? This guy here, Litecoin Jack, he's calling himself. What's he saying today? I unfollowed him in the episode yesterday on Twitter. He's recording today for another Bitcoin. Wonder, price targets, 8th of July. That's old. 13 minutes. Oh, that was his last one. He doesn't do very many episodes, does he, this guy? Anyway, I'm not slagging him off. I'm just saying that he was looking to buy it at $400. I was moaning about how only one or two of his orders got filled. It was always going to go back down to the 236 there. We knew about that. It's happened. Really, though, what we're looking to see is whether or not it closes below it. Here's the 21 EMA. It's not been tested yet, quite yet. It's close to it, but it's not been quite yet. And actually, since this entire rise up the way, since over here on the 20th of July, we've not tested the 21 EMA quite yet. What if you're Peter Brandt, though, and you're looking at this and saying, hey, you don't use the 21, instead you use the 18, for instance? Has it tested that? Well, it has, and it went on past it. I don't like the 18 though. I use 21. It's a Fibonacci style number. I think so. Cool. Okay, great. Where are we as well in terms of our key zones? Where we're right below this. That we're right above. We're in this. We're in the neckline zone of what we're considering, not the neckline, but this zone here for the Adam and Eve type thing. What have we had in terms of play out from this move then? Has it all been done? Was it done during this move down towards the 236 Fibonacci? If I take this over here and stick it in, then you can see that it wasn't quite, but if you were to use the textbook definition of it, textbook style, then you're looking here towards the 236, and that's perfectly worked out here for the Adam and Eve. So that's done, and we had the divergence and it played out. So what we're really now looking for is to see whether or not this is able to continue to move towards the top side, retake the 21 EMA on the 4 hour, or else, and past the 50 simple, or else perhaps, when we look up towards the larger time frames, we're on our way to test off some of these other moving averages. Even if I just look at the 12-hour time frame, you could see right here at our heads, or where we are just now, we're on the 21. Maybe this is the time frame that you're looking for in this one. Just if you're trading this in terms of shorter periods of time, maybe that's what you're looking for some informations on that. But cool, that's going to do us, I think. How long's this episode lasted for? Roughly 10 minutes or something, 11 minutes, whatever. That's going to do. That's pretty good. I really want to say a massive thank you to everybody who liked and subscribed recently, because yesterday was the best day for that ever. Let's see if we can get another really good day in today. That would be amazing. The target of 1,500 by September actually looks like it's within touching distance. It's possible. Maybe we need to do a bit of a bigger target. You let me know about that one. Maybe we should be targeting 2,000. I mean, I don't know. I'm just so delighted and amazed by everybody. And that song that I was singing at the start of this episode is Short People by Randy Newman. Look it up. Maybe short people got no reason in terms of trading. Do people have any reasons to be short? Have they got any reasons to be short? Like this guy, Randy Newman, is kind of saying that they don't in that song. I found a couple of ideas why you could maybe, but we've played out the Adam and Eve move. It kind of, let's just see how this goes over the next wee while, and if we're really going to push past one way or the other on this one. I think it's quite an interesting price dynamic in and around this point here for us to be looking at. Cool, nice one. So my name is Rocky Outcrop. youtube.com/rockyoutcrop if you want to tell your friends about it in the easiest way possible. Of course, they'd be really, really interested in knowing. Let's stop having this be the best kept secret on YouTube, like I was saying yesterday, and instead see if we can, because, you know, it's amazing. Oh, wait, people want BTC. Sorry, respect to everybody. You asked and I will deliver. So what we also look at, look at that. Look at it. Movements outside of this zone currently considered to be fake outs. We've got this moving up towards the top line. Are we going to break out of it or not? We've come down as far as the 33.96, so 34 we'll call it, and we're back up here at 34.86. You know, we need to get above 35. We're just below the 12-hour 21 EMA. We've down here, we came down close enough in terms of a test of this 21 EMA really, and found support in and around this zone on the 24-hour time frame. We did have the divergence here on this. We can see as well that there's certain patterns that could be at play in terms of the RSI. If we just bring this big screen, you can see that we've got this sort of what do you want to call it? Do you want to call it a descending triangle? Let's call it a descending triangle. We've got this here quite clearly on the charts, quite clear descending triangle at this point here, if you like, you know. So, you know, will we see a shallow rise up here and it just come in and fail for us in terms of moving up and be perhaps one of those swing failures? Check out the Bitcoin episode as well for definitions about these things. But this here quite clearly would be our fail point on that at the bottom end of our descending triangle. So something to look out for. And the dynamic there could be quite interesting in terms of the market, you know, how it's working, because of course trading between these things and looking to stack more sats, that's what people are calling it these days with Bitcoin. That's what people are looking for on that. So if we see how will this all operate with this dynamic? Look at this, you know, at the minute the prices have lost that contango nature. Of course, this is the delayed chart, so I expect this to go up and remain contangoed, but they're not actually contangoed versus the BitMEX chart over here. Okay, so it's just flicking up above it. Obviously this is a 15-minute delay, but you can see that the premium has really gone away on that front. So could this perhaps go up and maybe hit the median line on this, put in maybe even a lower low overall, come up here, touch the top end of this descending triangle, then perhaps sink on down afterwards? It could do something to be aware of as the ADX starts to slope down below that 40 line. Could that be of note for us, having found resistance then on this, you know, you can see it sloping down the way quite clearly there. Yeah, cool. That's going to do. I'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. This will be an interesting dynamic over the next wee while for us, I'm sure. Cool. Yeah, so I suppose in a way that means that as well, you want to look out to see if this is leading the trend towards the downside. Breaking down behind this rusty line here, I think is going to be quite significant if that happens. That's obviously going down past the 236, opens up a couple opportunities. Just jumping over here to wrap up, I suppose. 309, 267, 295 down at 213 would be your target towards the downside if that were to happen. Topside target quite clearly 420, 440. Catch you next time. 500 thereafter. See you.